Hi, I'm Melinda Rose.
And I'm Laura Marshall.
And this is Light Matters for April 6, 2011.
In this week's Light Matters, we reveal new color holograms that appear under white light, preview the April issues of Photonics Spectra and BioPhotonics magazines, and we have a short roundup of notable business news. Melinda?
Texas Instruments will acquire National Semiconductor for $6.5 billion in cash, the companies announced Tuesday. National will become part of TI's analog segment after the closing, which is expected in 6 to 9 months. Sales of analog chips used in phones and other electronics will then represent almost 50% of TI's revenue. Schott North America and Schott Corp have a new CEO. Linda Mayer becomes the first woman to head the North American operations of the specialty glass manufacturer, which has 2,800 employees. She succeeds former president and CEO Dr. Gerald Fine, who now serves on the company's North American Advisory Board. Mayer's previous employers include Terex, Kohler, John Deere, and Moen. The European Photonics Industry Consortium, or EPIC, elected Dr. Drew Nelson, CEO of IQE, as its president. Nelson is CEO and co-founder of Epitaxial Products International, or EPI. He led the company into a merger with US-based QED, forming the IQE Group, an outsourced manufacturer of advanced semiconductor wafers. EPIC promotes sustainable development for European organizations working in photonics and is Europe's leading photonics industry association.
Thanks, Melinda. In Photonics Spectra this month, the cover story is an overview of attosecond science, written by contributing editor Marie Freebody. In the nearly 10 years since scientists created and measured attosecond pulses, these ultrafast flashes of light have allowed the motion of electrons to be observed in atomic systems for the first time. In AMOLEDs, A Bright and Flexible Future, contributor Hank Hogan looks at the issues such as lifetime, size, and electronics that must be addressed as AMOLED sales take off and larger devices and even flexible applications become the norm. We have a feature article authored by Newfern that discusses mechanical and environmental issues relevant to double-clad fiber coatings. And Edmund Optics gives us a look at the shifting landscape for IR technology in the commercial sector.
So using IR technology commercially isn't new. What's changed?
Well, IR has become more widespread in recent years, thanks to factors such as lower detector costs and the evolution of sensor technology. We also have an article by Valentina Dushkina of Cal Irvine Extension and Dushkina Optics discussing factors that render hybrid glass polymer optics suitable for IR applications. And Radiance has contributed a feature article on pulse management in the real world. The authors say that to achieve the true commercial potential of ultrafast lasers, real-time continuous software monitoring and the adjustment of system dispersion will be essential. In this month's issue of BioPhotonics, our cover story is by features editor Lynn Savage, who writes about Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy for food inspection. His sources say FTIR is a time and cost-effective way to detect mislabeled food products and also the undesirable microorganisms and subspecies that can contaminate them. Marie Freebody has contributed an article on time-lapse microscopy, and she has found that the ability to see cellular processes up close is having an impact on fields ranging from brain development to infertility. Our BioPhotonics news editor, Gary Boas, writes this month about tissue imaging with Raman spectroscopy and SIRS. Using nanoparticles and new combinations of imaging techniques could advance areas such as deep tissue imaging, his sources say. We also have a two-feature special on laser surgery. The first is a contributed feature from DLAS on high-power diode lasers for surgical applications, and the second is from contributing editor Hank Hogan, who looks at brand new surgical applications for lasers.
And both magazines are in the mail this week?
Yes, and of course, if you're not already a subscriber, you'll find subscription forms on photonics.com for the digital or print editions.
A new technique that uses ordinary white light instead of a laser to make 3D color holograms could be useful in the next generation of glasses-free 3D displays, Japanese researchers report this week in Science. The method is different from conventional techniques because it's based on surface plasmons, the activity of electrons on the surface of a metal film. Current approaches generally bounce laser light off an object and onto a photographic plate, which records information about the light wave's phase and amplitude in an interference pattern. Light shining through the hologram interacts with the interference pattern in such a way that the image of the object appears, usually in a single color. With the new method, the metal film is coated onto a light-sensitive photoresist material containing a hologram made with red, green, and blue lasers. The surface plasmons in the metal film are excited using white light oriented at a range of angles. The angle of the incoming light determines which plasmons are excited and diffracted by the hologram. The result is multicolored 3D holograms, the colors of which stay the same when viewed from any angle, just like the original object.
Well, that's it for this edition of Light Matters.
For more on any of these stories, visit photonics.com. To subscribe to our newscast, you can click on the share icon on this video player and choose feeds to enter your subscription directly into iTunes or any other RSS program.
There are also icons to share this video on most social media sites.
Please send your questions or comments to lightmatters@photonics.com or find Photonics Media on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week.